P7. Carry out a review of the project management process. You should consider the whole process and include what were the good features of the planning process. This section focuses on where it was fairly straightforward to stick to the plan. Places which I stuck to my plan had to do with when I was designing the project itself. That was pretty easy to stick to the plan. There were other areas where I stuck to the plan as well. When research was required, or other areas. Explain which tasks were completed on or before time, and which planned resources matched the task requirements. There were a number of tasks which were completed on time, namely the buttons for the project. The designs were also completed on time, showing that there were differences in designs which were needed all the way throughout the project and were completed either early or on time, which saved me a little bit of time in the long run and allowed for delays to take place. What were the less good features of the planning process? This section focuses on issues with the planning process. Explain any tasks which took more time than planned. Identify why this was the case and what impact it had on the project. In hindsight, what could you have done? Anything to prevent the delays. There was a couple of delays in the project, mainly to do with illness or unable to meet with the client. These are some things that cannot be avoided. However, I made up time in other areas. For instance, during button design and management, I could make up a bit of time there. Let's say it was mainly due to illness or missing an appointment with the client. These things can't really be helped if you can prevent missing the client or add in to your schedule if you know that illness is going to be a factor. You could add in more times to meet with the client on different days. Were there any unexpected tasks / unpredictable events that had not been planned for? Was there any scope creep? Why and what was the impact of this? There wasn't really any scope creep. Unexpected tasks, I suppose you could say there was a couple more buttons than what I was expecting, and the coding took a little bit longer. It was a bit harder with a very basic knowledge of design and programming to complete some of said tasks, which allowed for a little scope creep. A bit more time was required for some of this and delayed the project a small amount. How was the plan adapted? What was the overall impact on the project? The plan was adapted in the sense that the design process was much quicker than expected, and once building the software had begun, the software took a little while longer due to a lack of coding knowledge and client illness or absence. The overall impact on the project was more than likely to do with the client being ill and causing time delays, but I made up for this during the designing and during the overall coding and building of the software itself. How could you improve your project management in the future? I guess allowing a little more time for things to go wrong or scope creep would be the best way to go. Things to improve. Certainly, the time management of the whole project was a little off, and the meeting with the clients perhaps should be more regular. How might you adapt the project management process to ensure equality for those with diverse needs? You may have done this, or it may be something that you are considering for the future. As regards to adjusting the diversity of the project, it was very much based on my own culture, and there are lots of ways in which it could have been improved by allocating more time for certain tasks. Breaking the project down in smaller detail. I did do this throughout a various number of parts of the project. Some of the tasks were none of the tasks were reordered to compensate for anything outside of the project itself. It was all done within the timescale allocated on the project, so that was pretty stuck till. Larger print documents or on-screen was background colour changes, different fonts, etc. These weren't needed, as both me and the client I was meeting with were fine with the print that was used and the colours, etc. And that's about it.